And now, bedtime fishing with Bo. Well, hey everyone, we're back with another bedtime fishing with Bo. Today, we're at wonderful White Moose Lake. Just looking around here looks super cozy. Sound of the fire makes you want to go to sleep. Really nice. We are going to start out with some fishing from the kayak, and then I think we're going to go over to that campfire over there and continue fishing. So if you want to listen to more of kind of the water going against the kayak, maybe that's what you'll get from the kayak, though this is a nightmare-inducing boat, I suppose. It is the coolest boat in the game. It was kayak in the game anyway. Otherwise, I haven't done much night fishing at White Moose Lake. I hope we actually catch some fish. But I figured if anything, just come out here in our kayak and oh, there's fish jumping anyway. That's not a bad sign. Cast around this old 4/0 medium spoon in 1 ounce. Give it a go. It always surprises me seeing how deep White Moose Lake is. I always forget just how long you have to wait for that lure to go all the way. We're gonna have to get used to that, especially at only 1 ounce. It might take a little bit, but it is 4/0 night medium spoon. Got that kind of is it called confetti or rainbow holographic look on it. Should say, since I didn't say in the very beginning, if you haven't set your TV or whatever, your sleep timer to 30 minutes, might be a good time to do so. Is usually what I aim for. I usually aim for like 30, 32, 35 minutes. Reel that we've chosen to go on this rod is quick. Took that or this medium spoon's just really low. Ooh, gotta nibble the. We might have to reel this in at 1 speed just to have a chance at getting a decent retrieve on it. 2 speed, it's going far too fast. The only way we'll have a fish catch up to it is if we take our time. Bit shallow. Three-star stop and go. Let's try to keep that up as much as we can. It might be the 4/0 hook, just a little big, but they do seem to come up for the end every time. It's a 1/2 ounce light, actually too light for the head. Let's try this 1/2 ounce 3/0. Might be too light, just take way too, then come up way too fast. but we'll give it a go. Let's take him to sink. Super deep White Moose Lake. Be patient, I guess. So at the waypoint. This is almost torturous. I don't think we're going to be able to use this just 'cause it's taking way too long to... see if we get lucky. It's holding spot in the water column. Well though. Shocking. Figured it would just shoot up to the top. Didn't even get a nibble with that one. Let's try this. It's like a rainbow trout sort of look to it. I think with this one we might just do a straight reach. If in my recent experience fishing at White Moose Lake, it always seemed like they were finicky to the retrieve that you were. Where in other maps, you know, you'd use a stop and go or twitch. I think I finally gave up on it the last time I was here and just started doing straight retrieves, and that's when I started catching them. Definitely matters to change up your retrieves if you're having a difficult exposed. Oh, did you hit that? Oh, that was a big knock. Big knock. Try that again. I'm gonna do a twitch retrieve. We've been doing stop and goes, and that was a straight retrieve. Got a nibble on that one. Might do a twitch on this one just to see if it's any different. That way, if something does come up and nibble on it, they'll automatically be hooked with that twitch, you know? Give that a go. Still came by and gave us a nudge there. It's not hooking up. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There we go. Oh, he's taking us over. Taking us over. Right underneath us now. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. We need to net him. Look. He's sitting. What are you doing, buddy? Oh my. Our first catch of the evening. I was curious if we would even catch lake trout, to be quite honest, because I thought maybe at nighttime lake trout could be kind of overkill or something like that for grinding away at. But there we go, 711 XP, $2,951 for this 42-pound lake trout. That is so awesome. So awesome. Let's take a look at He-Nil. in the boat with this guy. And still remember one of my best videos from the first series was catching my largest fish yet at White Moose Lake. And when you're making your way through the game and you finally catch a fish this big, it feels really good, doesn't it? Finally feel like you've achieved something almost. I'm not sure. Not sure the best way to describe it, but yeah, that's awesome. Let's see if we can go. What a great fish. That's the sort of fish you want to catch in your dreams, you know? Dream about that fish right there. That's so cool. Let's go ahead and keep him. I think from here, might make our way over to the fire. Oh, big fish jumping right next to it. And what I've got in mind for this fire over here is got 2 different bottom rods that we're gonna throw out with some bait, and we'll continue casting from the edge over here as well. But I am excited that first lake trout there, boy, we got lots of nibbles, lots of nudges, and he finally came up and grabbed it, didn't he? That was great. Nice, slow and steady kayak. There we go. The sound of the snow beneath our feet. Until fire, but it's really... Alright, let's set up our rod stand here. I've got, I believe, spawn sacks on one. Then I've got, shiners on the other one is what it is. Throw that one out there. Ooh. This one. This has got the shiners on it. Just kind of toss them out there. It's all deep throughout here. And honestly, I like fishing on the other side better, but don't spend too much time fishing on that side. With the fire looking so cozy for nighttime, it just felt right. Nighttime fishing on the edge of a lake with a fire in the background. And, like I mentioned, I think at the same time we'll just kind of cast out, see what sort of fish we can get into. Ooh, looks like we got interest on that first rod. There, we sure do. That bent over. Come on. What do we got, though, is the question. Ice coming up to the top. Looks like another lake. Another lake trout. Come here, buddy. It is another small lake trout. Just shy of 10 pounds. That is so cool. $681.75 XP. That was on the spawn sack. It's out in the middle of the lake. Thankfully, by this point, our lure is probably at the bottom. Just about, anyway. I think we'll go back to that twitch we were doing. Seemed to catch that first one anyway. Ooh, oh, What that? Attention. Another one on the spawn sack. I have to switch the other rod to a spawn sack at this point. Shiners are doing nothing for us, but the spawn sacks are catching everything. Another lake trout, looks like. This one's a little bit bigger, I think. Ooh. Yes, look at that. Another 21-pound trophy lake trout. That is awesome. So cool to be out here. White Moose Lake. Have the fire in the background. A nice cozy night. Although if I was there around this lake right now, I think I'd be a bit closer to the fire. Being nighttime, all this snow and ice everywhere. I would have to be bundled up a lot more than Heenel is right now, though I think his human costume is keeping him warmer than we might suspect. That is so cool. There we go, another 21-pounder trophy lake trout on the spawn sack. Like I said, I think I might reel in that other rod and put spawn sacks on that one, because shiners are just not doing us any favors right now. And when you're doing a fishing video, even if it's trying to get people to go to sleep, I think it's important to actually catch fish, you know? Alright. Shiners. Always makes me wonder if maybe if it was like daytime, if the shiner would be doing better, or what I could possibly be doing a little bit better. The fish just jumped right where we threw that last one. It was a bad cast on my end. I was busy talking, I wasn't paying attention. The meter was doing over there. There we go. Back to twitching. Yeah, fishing deep like this kind of reminds me of when we were at Lake Tahoe and we were jigging for the lake trout there. We were in like 150 feet of water plus. Had some interest on both of the rods. Both of the rods were kind of showing some light there, but didn't actually hook up, it seems. Almost looks like we could cast to the other side of the lake. That lure just slowly go down. There we go. Finally got a take on the rod that hasn't caught anything yet. Now we've finally got something now that we've switched to the spawn sacks. I am using fairly strong rods for this area. I was trying to decide what to use, and the closest thing that was in my area, I had one cat boxer rod that was in like the 40s, and I had one bottom sniper rod that was like 33 pounds, and then I had these two, what are they called, chasers? Something like that. Look. Yeah, the heavy chasers, 52.9 pounds each. So, very well. Best just use those. I have 2 of them anyway. We can just make identical setups. But, as I was saying, down at Lake Tahoe, jigging for the lake trout. That was fun. I can't remember how many we caught that day. Maybe there were 3 of us on the boat, and I think we might have caught 8, maybe 9. Though I can say I only caught maybe 3 of them. The other guy was on fire. He definitely knew what he was doing. I know I advertise a lot for the other channel, but if you haven't watched that video on the Modern Day Outdoorsman, the old MDO, I do recommend it. It is entertaining. Second. A nibble on that right rod. There's some fly fishing in that video. There's just some brown trout, stuff like that, wild brown trout, caught in some streams. Some really cool drone shots over forests and over the Lake Tahoe. And then also we saw black bear. So I got some film of the black bear making its way through a meadow, which was really cool. And then not like 20, 50, I don't even know, probably less, 15 minutes maybe later, I was walking through that same meadow to go fishing. So that was interesting. An interesting feeling. Being from Kansas, I'd never had to experience that before. Oh boy. Oh, good fish. Good fish. And take out line. Got 445 feet to work with here. Oh, now we got another fish on the other rod. Doubling up on our spawn sacks right now. That rod's bent over. This one at 70 some feet. I think this is a good fish. This might be a unique. No, he's not. He's smaller. Get him in. I don't know. Too close to it. He keeps going. Did a big jump at the end there. Go, another 24 pounder. So awesome. What an awesome fish. To start out with the one unique 42 pounds or whatever. Then we've got 2 trophies. 24 pounds, each $1,700. It pays at this level, you know, to have a keep net big enough for you to keep these, you know. I remember the first time I came to White Moose Lake, I didn't have a keep net that had a single max fish, you know, that was large enough to keep the 42 pound uniques. Yeah, this is gonna be putting us over 100 pounds of fish right there, and let's see, $7,494. That's not bad. Using spawn sacks all in one night might not be as quick as the sturgeon, but it is a good little trip here. And I think I had been thinking in my head that the next free-to-play video would not be moving on to Salang River, but would be some video to break up the monotony of fishing for sturgeon at San Joaquin for so long. It can really be a break to people playing Fishing Planet. You know, this is when they start thinking, oh, this is a grind, this is a paywall, this is when they want you to start buying DLCs to get past this point. And that's not the case. I mean, it is difficult. It is a grind. I do believe from a game design perspective, they certainly could have put that point in the game for you to have a lot of fun leading up to it, and then reach that point and go, oh my gosh, I really want to get to the other fish on the other side of this point. How do I do it? I don't want to quit, not necessarily, but grinding for these sturgeon is breaking me. And it happens to everyone. So some people look at it really negatively, say, oh, it's a paywall. They want me to get into their microtransactions and all that jazz. I don't look at it that negatively. I look at it as this is a free game. They've obviously put in thousands of hours of work into this game. And, you know, you're playing it for free. And they have to be strategic about how they can eventually make money from this game, because there's a lot of people putting in a lot of time and effort into making Fishing Planet what it is. And although I am doing a free-to-play series of it, I do think it is a good time to consider paying. This looks like a salmon. There we go. Got our first Atlantic salmon. That is so cool. It is strange to see an Atlantic salmon because we're way over on almost the far western side of Canada, if I remember that right. I apologize to all of our Canadian brethrens out there, but my knowledge of provinces is not great. And yeah, we are kind of, I believe, maybe between or right next to two different provinces with White Moose Lake on the map, though I'd have to look at it. I could be completely wrong. But to see an Atlantic salmon, I mean, it's a long way to travel. To go from the Atlantic all the way through Canada to the western side of Canada. You'd think, I don't know, it may just be like calling something a Canadian goose, even though it's in the UK. Alright, let's let this guy, or actually, we're gonna keep him. What I'm talking about. This has been a day so far. Good night. It's gonna become a thing where we're gonna look and see how long it takes me to say goodnight to everyone in every episode. And there, I finally said it. Good night, everyone. This is gonna be a good night. I can already see it. All the people putting down in the comments that are still awake. He finally said goodnight at this point. Will be like the early episodes of South Park with the aliens, and so you always tried to spot the alien in every episode. Except it'll just be waiting for me to say good. Although that's not what I meant to say. This one's almost to the bank, right? Not having much luck on the lure since we've moved over here, though I will say that we casted like 5-6 times and only caught the one fish in the kayak. It's not like we were doing exceptionally well over there as well. Seems like a decent fish right here. Fighting like a big lake trout. Though I wouldn't mind a big salmon. Right, look at that, a trophy splake. That is so cool. What a cool, beautiful fish, the splake. Take a look at Henil here. That. Go. Took me a little bit there to get the controls I wanted. That's so cool. The fire in the background. Got our trophy splake. Looks happy. I'd be happy too if I caught a fish that big. Goodness gracious. Missing other fish on it. It's back up there. I'm gonna reel this one in because we just missed that fish. I don't know. I mean, you could technically probably leave it out there, and I do know I've caught fish on rods that missed a strike. But I feel like, I don't know. Maybe in my mind, I like to think that they put a cool down on the rod. If you don't pick it up, then they'll say, "Oh well, we add 2 minutes onto the timer of catching a fish with that rod." It's probably not the case, but that's what I think of in my mind. So rather than deal with that, I just throw it out there. I suppose there's nothing different between that and someone who wears the same pair of underwear for every football or baseball game. No science behind it. We're just doing it because it makes us more confident. There's nothing wrong with that. Takes a long go down, doesn't it? Nibbles on that first rock there. I think it's taken. It's taken. Deal. Decent fish too. Pull up. Fantastic. Another little lake trout. 13 pounds though. You know, we've caught lots of lake trout under 10 pounds. I think this is the first one we've caught between 10 and 20 pounds this entire time. It's pretty cool. Almost $1,000 for a 13-pound fish. 99 XP on this very strong rod we're using. But I think if you came out here with the bottom sniper at 33 pounds and caught a number of these lake trout, I think you'd get pretty decent XP. Maybe not with these 10, 13 pounders, but yeah, at least you'd be able to catch these guys and then be able to deal with the big unique lake trout, although they might be a bit of a fight. But you should be used to a big fight, you know, if you've been going after the sturgeon at San Joaquin. But it's been a ton of fun going after these lake trout, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you're taken off to sleep at this point. It's been a lot of fun being out here, being in the kayak, fishing for these lake trout and the Atlantic salmon here at White Moose Lake, and having this fire behind us, giving us some ambiance has been fantastic, and I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have and you're still awake, consider hitting the like button, subscribing if you haven't already for more bedtime fishings with Bo, and yeah, catch you in the next episode, everyone. Take care. If you want to join us in our live streams every Monday, Wednesday, 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. Central, consider doing so. But until then, see you in the next episode. Take care, and as always, remember,